Hello and welcome. This is going to be a 200 literary dictation from a book I have called Gaining a Leash on Life. It is lessons we can learn from our pets. Okay, so we will begin. The journey to gain a leash on life begins. The fact that our canine friends can teach us lessons about life has been well documented, not only in the journals and in the hearts of every dog lover, but documented in and through the world of science. In a study reported in the April 2002 issue of Prevention magazine, 48 New York stockbrokers with hypertension were given medication. In addition to this medicine, half also adopted a pet. After 6 months, the resting blood pressure of all the stockbrokers had dropped, but when all the stockbrokers were under stress, only the new pet owners had blood pressure in the normal range. Other studies have demonstrated that companion dogs can reduce the healing time of patients with serious illness, shorten bereavement, and can improve overall health. Dogs have also been found to do as much for our spirits and our emotions as they do for our bodies. As far back as 1792, dogs were used in the treatment of mental patients in York Retreat, England. In 1919, the U.S. Secretary of the Interior suggested to the superintendent of St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Washington, D.C., that dogs be used as companions for psychiatric patients. The research suggests that the unconditional love provided by our canine companions is healing to both body and soul. But dogs are more than just good medicine. Dogs are more than wonderful companions. They are, or can be, master teachers and in many ways models who show us how to live. If we allow our canine friends to simply show the way, we may learn the valuable life lessons they have already mastered. Lessons such as when loved ones come home, always run to greet them like they've been gone for a year. Never pass up the opportunity to go for a joyride in the car. Allow the experience of fresh air and the wind in your face to be pure ecstasy. When it's in your best interest, practice obedience. Let others know when they've invaded your territory. Take naps, stretch before rising, run, romp, and play daily. Thrive on attention and let people touch you. Avoid biting when a simple growl will do. When you're happy, dance around and wiggle your entire body. It is these and so many other valuable lessons about life that we can learn if we simply allow our canine companions to show the way. It is these lessons, these dogmas, that will help us each gain a leash on life. And it is these lessons that are presented within this book. Gaining a Leash on Life is more than a book. Gaining a Leash on Life is an invitation and a guide. Throughout the upcoming pages, you will be invited to gain a new perspective. As you read, you will be guided through a series of steps, all aimed at helping you increase your awareness and acceptance of self, of others, and the world in which you live. As a result of this new perspective, you will become more whole, more authentic. And with this new perspective, you will realize that you, like both Bud and I, have ample reason to howl and to celebrate life. Gaining a Leash on Life is organized around 4 themes: awareness, acceptance, authenticity, and celebration. Within each of these themes, you will find a number of lessons, or what I call dogmas. Now, these are dogmas, not a dogma, and as such, they are not meant to be read as rigid truths, but rather as a new perspective from which to view and experience your life. Each of these dogmas opens with a quote, which I hope will stimulate your thought and reflection. The dogma is explained and my reflection on the topic are shared. But as you most likely know, actually gaining a leash on life requires more than reading and reflecting. It requires doing and doing differently. Therefore, at the end of each of the dogmas, I have presented a series of guides or recommendations called Bud-isms, directives from my best Bud dog. These Bud-isms will help you to embrace the invitation found within the dogma and translate them into actions and life decisions. As you take time to experiment with the Buddhism and reflect on the dogmas, you will come to appreciate that these are the things best savored, not rushed through. This book is not meant to be approached as a task with a deadline, or as a process with the goal of completion. More than a typical book, Gaining a Leash on Life is intended to serve as an experience from which you will emerge with a different and hopefully rewarding perspective on yourself, others, and the world around you. It is my hope that you find this book to be a welcome companion as you journey through your year. It is also my hope that as you read and reflect, you will more fully appreciate the truth that while dogs are not our whole life, they make our lives whole. About Bud. I am sure if I asked my dog what I should write as a way of introduction, he would instruct me to write simply that he is Bud. Bud is less concerned and certainly not encumbered by details. I am sure he feels it is inconsequential that he is 14 years old and an SPCA mix of terrier and an amalgam of friendly dogs. He may question the value of you knowing that his hair, which was once shiny black, has moved beyond salt and pepper to mostly salt. Nor would he need you to know that he moves a tad slower and with a bit more pain in the joints than he once did. No, Bud would just want you to know that he is Bud. His owner, that's me, would want you to know that Bud is a gift, a wonder, a love. But I'm sure as you read on, this is something you will soon come to understand. Okay, so that's the end of this this lesson. And we will move on to awareness on the next video.